my god, this is probably the biggest news of the year, if you ignore that, and maybe that as well. Never mind, this is probably one of the news pieces of the year. It has recently been announced that Shockwave, the UK's only stand-up roller coaster, is going to be undergoing some big changes in 2024. And are these good changes? Who knows at this rate? But I'm going to be discussing all that needs to be known and discussed today. And along with that, we might even dabble into a little further speculation on that brand new roller coaster coming next year. Oh, exciting stuff! Stay tuned in this video because I'm going to discuss what has happened this past week on Shockwave. And if you do want to enjoy this video about the brand new changes and you want to stay in the loop, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We've managed to hit 50,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I'm speechless. It genuinely is mental, the fact that this channel has reached that milestone. So yeah, it's crazy. Thank you very much. And at some point in the next few weeks, there's going to be a special celebration video. So be sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss that when I post it. So to start off with, we're going to give you the rundown on what Drayton Manor have been doing to Shockwave, how they've been treating it, you know. Sounds like a human. Well, they'll finally be able to sit down next year, hey! Shockwave originally opened at Drayton Manor in 1994, and it was Europe's first Intamin stand-up roller coaster. Yes, Intamin made this thing. I know if you look at the track and the sort of spine and the curvature, it looks like a B&M. No. This is an Intamin we're talking about. It reaches speeds of 53 miles an hour, has 4 inversions, and even has the harshest brakes in the world. I've used that joke too many times. The ride has been operating since 1994 when it opened, and it hasn't seen any changes from its stand-up identity, but that's about to change next year. And as it's turning 30 years old next year, yes, it's quite old, isn't it? I don't know whether this was actually intentional or not to be on its birthday. The ride is going to change monumentally by going from stand-up to sit down. Yeah, Shockwave is going to be joining those 2 other 1994 roller coasters. It opened the same year, it's quite poetic actually, in becoming a very different experience to its previous form. Obviously, one of them is the big one, which you have at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, that's been retracked every single year. Only little bits though, not the whole thing. And of course, Nemesis, which is being retracked over a single year. A single year. Towers are well quick compared to Blackpool in sort of redoing things. Reminds me of something else. But yeah, you've got a retrack at Towers, a retrack over in Blackpool, and now this other 1994 coaster, Shockwave, is getting retrained, I guess. This now sit-down roller coaster will feature the exact same layout as Shockwave, which is one worrying thing about this. And I didn't expect this, but it's going to have a different height restriction from the original 1.4 meters. Very cool, but I'll get into that. As per usual, it would be best if I read the official announcement. It is time. Managing Director Victoria Lynn has finally stated in a video, yes, not an interview. Can you believe it? It's not actually a written interview. That is crazy from them. But it's a video interview. Regarding Shockwave, the track will remain the same, but changes are necessary. Changes? What does that mean? I mean, let me read more because it probably says it. These changes will include Shockwave getting a new theme, name, and launch. I genuinely thought when it said launch that they're going to make it launched for a second. I got so excited. But the big change is that it'll be getting new trains and will no longer be stand-up, with new sit-down trains being installed. There you go, from Victoria Lynn herself. Sit-down Shockwave is gonna be a thing. Kind of sad when you think about it, but it is what it is. But this whole thing about a new theme and name has me really intrigued because they literally a few years back went and repainted and redid the entire area of Adventure Cove, reopened the rapids, and repainted the Shockwave station. So what the hell are they retheming it to? But considering their past projects such as Vikings or even, of course, Thomas and Percy's Submarine Splash, oh, what a creation. Although I didn't get to ride it because it was closed when I went. Hopefully looking at those projects, they will have a lot of theming put onto Shockwave. But the name, what could the name be? I mean, I was thinking about like a surf type of thing, but I feel like that'd be more stand-up, you know. Pipeline the Surf Coaster, that kind of work. But no, now it's a sit-down ride. It could still be to do with like water and things, you know. It could be a boat. It could be a ship that you're sailing in. Sea Storm. Never seen that before. But let's keep reading. I'm intrigued. There will be new elements to entertain guests whilst riding, and what do you even mean by that? New elements that will entertain riders. What could that mean? Laser guns? They've taken them from Duel. Going around on a sit-down roller coaster whilst you're doing multiple inversions, just going. But no, that's really weird. What could that on-ride entertainment factor be? Could it just be some new like smoke and water effects? Maybe head choppers, you know? They've added some theming here and there. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Drayton do some great theming. As I've stated, Thomas and Percy's Submarine Splash. Oh. Continuing on, the minimum height requirement will decrease from 1.4 meters to 1.2 meters, so more people will be able to ride it, but it is still promised to be a thrilling ride. Well, hey, 1.2 meters, that's the same as Mandrill Mayhem and the Wicker Man at Alton Towers, and you know, those kind of rides, those family coasters. Does that mean Shockwave is now a family coaster? Despite the fact it goes upside down 4 times. But no, I've joked around a lot, but the fact it is going sit down and it's going to have a lower restriction is a lot better, because the park is clearly taking a family orientated route for their audience. So to sort of add that extra ride that people 1.2 to 1.4 can go on, instead of just looking at it and going, I'm not going on that, is great to hear. I mean, Shockwave is a great ride, so the more people that get to ride it, the better. Beautiful stuff. Shockwave will continue to operate as it currently is until the end of October half term, and then will close along with the theme park for the winter, when the reimagining will take place. Get your last rides in. October half term, that's your last deadline. You're not going to ride it afterwards. Well, you're not going to stand up on it afterwards. So what does this all mean for Shockwave? Will it be a better or worse experience? Will it be cool to have a 1.2 meter height restriction on it rather than a 1.4? That one answers itself, because obviously, as I said, more people can ride it. It's lovely. But will the layout actually feel like a good thrill coaster, family thrill coaster? Now it's sit down. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if it's going to be the most amazing coaster when it goes to sit down. It just doesn't seem like the greatest layout for a sit down roller coaster, but we'll see, I guess. I mean, as I said at the start, it's literally the only European stand-up roller coaster left, so to then remove that and make it sit down, it's probably going to become less iconic. But if that's how they have to move on more into the family market, then so be it. All I pray is that those brakes are altered, because otherwise my neck will snap in half. And I know I've just said that it's not going to be the greatest experience in the world, but I don't know that for sure, because of these little added features she's talking about, because you never know, water effects and laser guns might make it 10 times better. But yeah, there's so many questions that I have. What are those effects? Are the trains going to be as bulky? Who are they going to be manufactured by? Are we going to see lap bars on it? I really hope so. There's so many questions, I need answers. We'll find out in 2024, I guess. The same goes for the family thrill lift and launch coaster coming next year as well, which, if we look at in this interview, has had a slight tease towards it. Victoria Lynn says in the video that it's a lift and launch coaster with some of the UK's firsts coming along. It is set to have extensive theming and will be a unique addition, which will have different programs based on the time of day it is. Now that sounds epic, and also really confusing, because what does it mean about the different programs in the evening and sort of the day and the night, the morning, the evening? Does she just mean that these are lighting packages, or will the roller coaster get faster during the night? So the fact she said it's going to have loads of theming and then also some UK's first, that's very exciting stuff. So you know what, Drayton, as I've been saying for ages, are on a very good slope upwards. Oh, and just randomly, by the way, the supports have been spotted for that coaster on site already. They're literally waiting to be put up, so I could see that going up very shortly. Either way, what are your thoughts on Shockwave going sit down? Are you mad about it? Are you sad about it? Or are you rather happy? Leave it in the comments below and subscribe. Thank you.